It's been over a week since disabled Air Force veteran Aleha Candia went missing from a group home that she was living in. KPRC2's Bill Spencer spoke to her family and is joining us now live with more on her case. Bill.
Yes, good evening, Andy. Aleha Candia is 29 years old, a very small woman, about 5 feet tall, 105 pounds, and she has been missing for 9 days now. Her family absolutely frantic in trying to find her. She also suffers from schizophrenia, and again, she has been missing for 9 days.
Tavera Hightower and her family are hitting the streets, knocking on doors and passing out these flyers, desperately searching for Tavera's sister, 29-year-old Aleha Candia, an Air Force veteran who's battling schizophrenia and has been missing since Sunday, October 22nd, more than a week now.
I'm broken. I know it's not about me, but it is about me because she's our world. We understand mental illness. We understand that it takes a village and it takes a family, and we've been that.
Aleha was last seen leaving the Divine Mercy group home in Missouri City 9 days ago, but her family says they were never notified that Aleha was missing. This past Thursday, her backpack, complete with her wallet, cash, and 2 cell phones, were found lying in a field in front of the Lone Star landfill at 4107 Sam Houston Parkway, more than 15 minutes away from the location she was last seen at.
Hey, we're just passing out flyers about my little sister being missing, and they found her backpack in a landfill.
Tonight, Houston police are investigating, and Texas EquiSearch is talking with the police, deciding whether or not to launch a full-scale search for this missing Air Force veteran.
But I can beg God to bring her back to me and be prepared for whatever that looks like. But the unknown is killing me. It's killing me.
Now I can tell you, the woman you just saw, she is on her way right now to Memorial Hermann Hospital because there are reports that Aleha may have been found, that she may be alive and she may be at this Memorial Hermann Hospital. We're not even certain of the location right now. This is all happening within the last few minutes. I just talked to Tim with the Texas EquiSearch, Tim Miller, who told me that he has been talking with the Houston police, who are also investigating this case. And right now they are sending a man over to the hospital there to verify whether or not this is indeed the missing Air Force veteran at this hospital. At this point, we just don't know. We will bring you the latest information as soon as you get it. But for right now, again, we're trying to verify, is this woman that's been found at the hospital actually Aleha or not? Reporting live, Bill Spencer, KPRC 2 News.
We'll certainly hope that she is found safe. Bill, thank you. As the Israeli military expands its ground offensive in what Israel is calling the second stage of the Israel-Hamas war, back home in the United States, Americans are experiencing record levels of anti-Semitism and Islamophobia.
NBC's Alice Barr has more on how the White House is responding to the increase in targeted violence.
An escalating conflict in the Middle East is now a ground war, with Israel's forces pushing deeper into the Gaza Strip and today managing to rescue a hostage, a young female Israeli soldier from Hamas control. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu facing plummeting approval ratings at home and international pressure to relieve the suffering of Palestinian civilians, forcefully pushing back.
Calls for a ceasefire are calls for Israel to surrender to Hamas, to surrender to terrorism, to surrender to barbarism. That will not happen.
As Israel continues its relentless airstrikes, Netanyahu blaming Hamas for using civilians as human shields, while the U.S. State Department zeroes in on humanitarian shipments into Gaza, noting Israel restored phone and internet service under pressure from the U.S.
It is about ensuring that vital information flows, humanitarian coordination continues, and families can stay in touch.
The war is touching off new security concerns here in the U.S. and a sharp uptick in hate crimes, with Muslim leaders reporting more than 800 complaints since the beginning of October, while the Anti-Defamation League reports a nearly 400% increase in anti-Semitic acts from the same time last year.
What we are seeing today in America, it's not just the war on Israel. It is a war on all Jewish people.
With Cornell and George Washington universities both looking into incidents involving anti-Semitism, the Biden administration today announcing new steps to combat anti-Semitism and Islamophobia on college campuses.
And those new steps include the Department of Homeland Security and the FBI improving coordination between campus law enforcement and state and local agencies when responding to incidents. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
As the temperature drops, we are sharing safety guidelines from the Houston Fire Department as you break out the space heaters and crank up that thermostat. If you're turning on the central heat, make sure that you replace your air filter and clean any dust. Make sure your space heaters have an auto shutoff in case it tips over. This is how a lot of fires start. You'll also want to make sure you check the space around the heater. If you have kids, create a zone around the heater so that they're aware it is not a toy.
We want to make sure that if we are using a portable space heater, that it's at least 3 feet away from anything flammable, and we're unplugging it when we go to sleep at night.
Be sure to not plug another electrical device or an extension cord into the same outlet as the heater because that can cause overheating. Firefighters also say you should install working smoke alarms on every level of your home and in every bedroom and test them monthly.
Good advice. It took a while, but that fall weather is finally here. We need to pull those heaters out.
It blasted on through here last night. And Justin, it's going to stay cold at least for a couple of days.
Yeah, probably through Thursday morning, and then we'll see things start to slowly moderate some. But it was like bulldozer last night, just, 80s, then wham, into the 50s. In fact, we're talking about some spots where 40 degrees warmer in Sugar Land at this time yesterday. And if you were anywhere coming from out west or up north down into the southeast Texas area here, boy, oh boy, you drove right through that mess. And it was not only a little stormy at times, but it was absolutely quite the temperature drop. All right, let's take a live look outside the Storm Tracker 2 as we get to the tower cam right now. Fairly overcast, and that's what we're going to see for most of the rest of the day today. We've not seen these temperatures budge much. We've basically been sitting anywhere between the mid to even some low 40s as you get up on the north side, mid to upper 40s across much of the metro area, and low 50s at the coast. I don't expect these to move over the next, let's say, 2 to 3 hours. We'll fall back slowly tonight, but it won't be a necessarily big fallback like we saw with the front. That cooler air is already moderating some as it moves into town here. And still got a pretty steady wind at around 14 to 20 miles an hour, gusting to 30 as you get down to the coast. So those winds stay up and blustery. That'll keep the temperatures up just a few degrees. With not only that, but we've got some overrunning light showers coming in from San Antonio. None of this is going to be too heavy, but it is out there and we're tracking it on the Storm Tracker 2 live radar. But notice I'll keep the rain chances in play through the rest of the night tonight, 20%. So nothing major out there. But notice we'll start off tomorrow morning in the mid 40s. Tomorrow night, though, I think we'll see some peaks of sun by 5, 6 o'clock. If you're going out with the early kids, if you're going out with the bigger kids, 7, 8 o'clock, cooling off into the low 50s. Still a little breezy out there, but much better weather, Andy, for trick-or-treating tomorrow night than certainly what it would have been if we were going out tonight. And speaking of that quick warm-up, we'll talk about that as we get in towards the rest of the work week forecast and into the weekend as well. It's all straight ahead.
All right, Justin, thank you. The Denny's restaurant on Seawall Boulevard in Galveston is reportedly a total loss after a large fire broke out this afternoon. Firefighters arrived around 1:30 and saw that flames were coming through the roof. High winds causing that fire to spread. A commander eventually ordered crews out of the building, fearing that the roof would collapse, which it ultimately did. Low water pressure at nearby hydrants also making it hard to put out the fire. At last check, firefighters are still at that scene. We, of course, will keep you updated on any new developments. You can check back with us here online or at click2houston.com. Today, a federal court judge, granted Texas's motion to temporarily stop the removal of razor wire until a preliminary injunction hearing is held. The action is a temporary win for the state. Last Tuesday, State Attorney General Ken Paxton sued the Biden administration, Paxton claims federal agents were destroying state property by cutting razor wire in the Eagle Pass area. He said the federal government was using machinery to dismantle the border barrier installed by the state of Texas. The preliminary injunction hearing is scheduled for November 7th. The temporary restraining order expires November 13th, but could be extended by the court.
Attorney General Ken Paxton was in a Houston courtroom this morning. A judge set the trial date for his securities fraud case after years of delays. State District Judge Andrea Beal announced the trial will start on April 15th. The Attorney General was indicted in 2015 on 2 counts of security fraud. He's accused of trying to solicit investors into a McKinney technology company without telling them the company was paying him to promote its stock. Paxton has pleaded not guilty. This case began in Paxton's native Collin County, but prosecutors asked that it be moved to a more neutral territory in Harris County. The fall season usually comes with allergies, and you might be reaching for your eye drops.
Yeah, a lot of folks do this time of year. Coming up, why the FDA is warning consumers not to use certain types of eye drop brands.
We'll get to that story, but first, let's take a look at some of your traffic times. No red on the traffic wheel. That is good news if you're headed to Pearland from downtown Houston, 15 minutes. Out to Cypress, 25 minutes. Into Baytown, just a 16-minute drive. We'll be right back. If you use eye drops regularly, this news is for you.
The FDA is warning people not to buy certain types of eye drop products due to the possible risk of infection that could result in partial vision loss or even blindness. The alert covers 26 over-the-counter eye drop products. They are marketed under the brands CVS Health, Leader, Rugby, Rite Aid, Target, Up & Up, and Velocity Pharma. The FDA says anyone who bought the products
500 excess deaths per year. Researchers say seniors and Black adults are most vulnerable to heat-related harms. The study was published in the journal Circulation.
Our heat advisories and heat warnings seem like the distant past at this point.
You know what? I deleted them out of my show. That's when you know it's done, when the weather folks are like, out of the WSI machine.
Finished.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think they're definitely finished. Now, that doesn't mean that we're not going to see more warm days, right? I mean, this is kind of the time where we fluctuate some. We get these cool days like we're going to see the next couple, and then we'll warm back up, and then we'll get another front, and then we'll warm back up. And we do this until about January, and then there's a freeze somewhere, so we'll see what happens. But, yeah, it could be really interesting winter so far. We'll see what these systems do as they continue to come in.
Shock to the system today, that's
It was a big one, that's for sure.
Seriously.
Yeah. Not only that, but we've got great click-to pins coming in. I didn't get a chance to show this one earlier today. So
Oh, you saved that for me. The Frenchie.
Right, the Frenchie.
Oh, man.
Is that Einstein?
That's dressed as me this morning at about 8:15. I was
Good one, Justin.
Trying
See the
to
resemblance there.
trying to get the gray hair under control. I didn't have my eye patches on yet there, Candace. Y'all know those eye patches come on. They're magic makers, man. Anyway, thanks for sending that in. Keep them coming. We'd love to have them. Frank and I are over the Weather Center here looking at some of the good ones. So we'll keep you showing those throughout the evening. All right, let's talk about what's happening out there right now. Interestingly enough, look at this. It's 81 in Atlanta, 44 in Nashville. So there's the front, right? 40s across the board here in the state of Texas. So that cold air that's been spilling in from Canada is in place, and that north wind continues to bring it in anywhere from 15 to 25 miles an hour. Wind gusts are still clocking 26 to 33 miles an hour down at the coast. It was nearly 50 earlier today, so the winds have backed off some. But as you might expect, there is a wind advisory out there. It goes basically from Sabine Pass through the bay down towards Bolivar, and then all the way as you get in towards Matagorda as well, and even into the south coast. So be ready for that if you're down around the coast. Meanwhile, instead of that north wind, you notice that the Storm Tracker 2 live radar is tracking some showers coming in from the southwest to northeast. This is what we call an overrunning situation. One of the reasons why that cloud cover is as thick as it is out there. Most of what we're seeing moving across our northern counties is probably translating to maybe a few light sprinkles to a quick shower, light shower at that. That's it. In fact, this big area of high pressure that's sliding in from the north and east is choking off that point of moisture down around the Pacific there. And so that front continues to slide off in towards Alabama and into Georgia. This high will take over, and as it does, that should relax those winds, but it means we're going to get mighty cold over the next couple of mornings as well. So let's go into tomorrow afternoon. I think it'll be fairly pleasant. We should be able to nibble away at the cloud cover too, go back to partly cloudy, mostly clear skies, about 7 o'clock, mid-50s, low 50s if you're out trick-or-treating with the kids. I think it'll be decent weather, but certainly a jacket for sure, and especially Wednesday morning as that high settles in. It'll kill the wind, mid to upper 30s to low 40s, and then by Wednesday afternoon, a bit of an east-northeast wind. That'll get us back up to about 60, 62, and then Thursday morning, we're going to do the same thing. Once again, we're back, and you see these mid-upper 30s across the board. That's when the transition will change just a bit. But officially, if you're out trick-or-treating Tuesday night, I'm going to keep it in the upper 50s by 5 o'clock for the bigger kids, and the adults, if you're headed out 7, 8, 9 to go to a party, low 50s, not too bad, fairly decent weather. Now, there are some frost advisories and freeze watches up near Dallas over to Waco, but notice those kind of cut off right around Madisonville, Crockett, and Trinity for our northern counties, but those stretch all the way up into the Ohio Valley. So we'll watch to see if they extend some of those in our neck of the woods here. But as I said, it'll be a short-lived cool streak. We'll warm quickly back up into the 70s by Friday, low 80s as we get in towards the weekend, and that's because this high sitting just to the east of us here starts to slide off to the east by Wednesday and Thursday. As it does, take that north wind and you go clockwise winds around the south, and then that'll bring in some much warmer air as we get in towards Friday and into the weekend forecast. So if you like the cool weather, next couple mornings are for you. Both Wednesday and Thursday will be in the 30s. If you want it a little more warmer, well, just give it till the weekend. We'll be back up into the low 80s by Saturday and Sunday, which, don't forget, we fall back and get that extra hour of sleep. And we'll be back right after the break. Stick around.